All right, Stray, I know you've been waiting. I have been promising for quite some time that I would make you dinners, so here it is. Today, I'm going to make your favorite, chicken. But it's a whole chicken, so I'm gonna have to prepare it from scratch. By the way, what are you reading? Oh, it's Chef Degan, Behind the Chef. Friend of mine, friend of the program as well. Some reading. So you can read while I try and cut this chicken. Now, knife seems sharp, but where do I start, Stray? Do you know anything about this? I mean, you're reading a book from Chef Degan. I wish he was here so he could definitely help me cut this as well. So let me try. We start at the legs? Should we start at the legs, Stray? Oh, wonder who that could be. I'm not expecting guests. Did you invite anyone?
Hey,
Chef
Paul.
Degan! Hey,
How
welcome! Good to see you. I've got chicken on my hands. I can't shake your hand right now, but you are the perfect man for the job. I have been having trouble cutting this chicken. I'm trying to prepare dinner for me and Stray, so...
Yeah, Stray called me. He said that you need some help cutting a chicken or something.
Good job, Stray. Good job. He was reading your book earlier, but yes, now that you're here, perhaps you can show us.
Yeah, of course.
How exactly do I cut a whole chicken into... Do you usually cut into 8 pieces? Is that right?
Let's get a real knife.
Okay. Yeah, this is no good, by the way, guys. Whoa, okay.
Okay, we get here.
Tools of the trade.
Tools of the trade. So
yes.
Choose your knife. You don't have to be the biggest knife, but it has to be a sharp knife.
Okay.
Right? So...
That looks much sharper than mine, by the way. So let's get rid of this.
You have the wings, you have the legs here, right?
Gotcha.
So now, what do you want to do? You want to cut it into 8 or you want to cut it...
8 would be ideal.
Okay. So once you have this facing you, you just see here, right? You just make a small cut in here.
I was
You see?
on the wrong side.
It just goes by itself, and then you break it a bit. You see?
Oh.
You break it, and then you see here the bones coming out, and you just cut through.
Look at how easy that is.
You have already one.
Perfect.
Right?
Ooh, half our job is done. So glad to have you here, Chef. And now that Chef Degan is here, we're going to talk about him and his culinary journey and perhaps prepare a little dinner for us and Stray. So stick around, buddies, here on Buddy Talk. Welcome, buddies, to this special episode of Buddy Talk. Why is it special? Well, we have my friend Chef is back in the house. Chef Degan, welcome.
How you doing?
Good to have you here.
Nice having me. Thank you.
So I mentioned to Stray earlier, and this is something that he was interested in, is that last year's ASEAN Summit, you had to prepare dinner for the spouse program.
Not dinner, lunch actually.
Lunch.
It was a lunch. Yeah.
So this was the spouses for not just our head of state, but all the head of states from ASEAN.
All the spouses of all the head of states in ASEAN. Yeah.
Okay, what was that like? Like when they approached you, what was the request? What did you have?
That was actually it started when I was still on holiday. You know.
Okay.
I was still in Europe, and then I got called from the Istana and asked for my profile. We sent the profile. And then I heard 3 weeks nothing, and then we're about to fly back to Indonesia. We were still in Turkey, and we got this phone call, and then they said they want to have a meeting because of the KTT ASEAN, but I couldn't because I was boarding the flight, right?
Right.
So when I reached Jakarta, I had like thousands messages and missed calls, and so we were divided. I was in charge just for the event at Taman Mini. I was basically by myself, and they told me, Chef, you're going to be by yourself, and you have to run this all by yourself. I said, no problem, bring it on.
Okay. Now, I would argue that it would be a lot easier, or a little bit easier at least, to cook for the heads of state rather than their wives, because I would say that it would be a little bit trickier to please them, because I'm sure they're well versed in the kitchen as well, having cooked for their own families. So were there any special requests? Who decided on the menu?
A lot. No, basically we had to propose a menu.
Okay.
So I was given the task to basically propose a menu, but before that I was asking about the dietary restriction of
Right.
everyone, right?
Allergies.
And yes, allergic and what they like, what they don't like. And you know, if it's for the ladies, you have to make it smaller. You have to make it more petite.
Okay.
Because it has to be small. They have lipsticks, and you know,
True.
it has to look good when you
Wow.
eat it, right? You have to think of all these little details.
Never
right?
thought of that either.
Yeah, and I had to think about the event was for lunch. It was an early lunch, so it was like a brunch basically.
Okay.
So I had to calculate that the guests, also the ladies, were eating before breakfast at their places.
Sure.
Came to Taman Mini. They were given like refreshments, canapes, and all these things, right? And then they came to the place where we were serving the lunch. That was even before 11 o'clock, right?
Early lunch is tricky.
Early lunch is tricky.
Yes.
You cannot serve too much,
Right.
right? And you have a 4-course menu. How big are each portions of every course, right? So you have to also adjust that when they eat everything, right?
Yeah.
So that was a challenge for us as well, right?
What was the signature dish that you would say highlighted that meal?
I think it was two. First, I would say the dessert, es degan.
Estegan,
Yeah.
which was?
But we had to make it like a esputer, like an ice cream, right? To have all the flavors that you have in an es degan, right? But present it very nicely, very neat, yet have all these flavors, Indonesian flavors there. I added mango because it was mango
Okay.
season. And I added pomelo. You know, pomelo has this
yeah.
sour,
It does.
sweet, sour taste, right?
Yes.
And you have the sweetness of the mango, you have a bit the sourness of the pomelo, and then you have this ice degan with it, right? So it was very refreshing at the end.
Good way to close out the meal, I would say.
Yes, it was great.
Okay, so, you know, this is a huge part of gastro diplomacy, which is something that is a big part of your career as well. But we do know right now that social media plays a huge role in advancing the recognition of our national food to those
Yes.
around the world.
Yeah.
It helps us to know Indonesian food and beverages by it being promoted through such things like food bloggers. Food bloggers are always on social media
Yes,
this
yes.
day. In fact, this has become a prominent trend, similar to what my friend Shafira, who is normally my salsa instructor, but she has apparently recently pivoted into food blogging herself. So let's have a look and see what Shafira's up to.
Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel! So I'm gonna give you a very nice review for amazing and tasty food. Well, as you can see here, I have two special dishes.
Wow.
So I have two dishes. Basically, it's originally from Southeast Asia. This one is Sundanese street food. It's called cilok. And this one, maybe you're familiar with this, right? In Indonesia or in Southeast Asia, it's made from sticky rice filled with shredded chicken. We call it lemper. But since we have you here, I know that you've been to Cordon Bleu, so we have lemper.
Lomper.
Okay. I'm going to start with this cilok. It's made from tapioca, and then we put it. We are going to taste it. This one is peanut sauce. Okay.
There you go.
Very traditional. Okay. Very chewy. Why? Spicy.
Paste that.
Okay. And this one, lemper.
Lumpia?
Yeah.
Lemper.
You want to try it? Well,
You go ahead
This
first. You first.
made by sticky rice. Filling
Banana
with
leaf? Is
shredded
that a
chicken.
banana
Oh, it's the same. French lemper.
Same as Indonesian lumpia.
Lemper. Okay. Okay. Let's try it.
What does it taste like? What do you taste?
Mm. It tastes better than this. Okay, yeah. Tasty. I like the chicken. It's well seasoned, okay? Seasoned
Okay.
as well. It tastes so good, but oh my god, it doesn't really well.
All right, Shafira, get over here. I'm gonna have to cut off your food blogging for now.
So much.
Thank you. Good job.
All right, that was my chi lamb.
Yay, Chilam.
Chi lamb.
Have a seat. I'm gonna change her name to Chefira instead of Shafira.
Hi, chef.
Hi, Fira, how you
So,
doing?
first of all, stick to your day job. Your blogging needs work.
You want to try the chilo?
You have to explain the flavor more. You have to tell me what you're tasting. You said it's traditional, but I'm not getting the vibe of what it is you're tasting.
I can't even describe it.
It's not that good. Who is in charge of getting this chilak anyway? So we often see reviews like this, by the way, these days,
Chilok
right?
and
Like
lemper.
people just going on social media and giving
Yeah.
their reviews. So I would like to ask you actually, are there ethics involved in reviewing food? Because food reviewers have been around for a long, long time.
Yes.
But it used to be food reviewers would come to a restaurant or come to a
Yes.
place of business,
Yes.
try the food, and they would give an extensive review. But nowadays we see a lot of reviews like this, like people going on social media, trying something and going, okay, it's good.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Are there ethics involved? Like, are there rules you should need to follow?
Yes, I think you should. I mean, like you said earlier, the food critics in the olden days, they didn't have the visual that we have today.
Yes, true.
So they had to explain everything through the writing, right? When you write it in a newspaper, in a magazine, you don't see anything. You have
Describe
to
it.
depend on what they describe to you,
Right.
right? And that's why you have to have a big vocabulary, and then you have to understand how to explain each flavors, each textures of the food, right? I've been in this business for a long time, Paul, and I was the one who made the food. I was in the side of these people that made the food, but now I'm mostly on the other side to
Right.
try the food and give my view on the food, how it is, right? And when you've done this the whole day working towards just that little thing, and somebody tells you, it's not good.
Yeah, in 3 minutes. Yeah.
And why it's not good, and they cannot explain to you why it's not good,
Right.
it's just not good. You get upset, of course, it hurts.
Yes.
And this is something I think we need to be, as a food critic, or if you talk about food, we need to be sensitive enough to understand that. And then we need to give constructive feedback. Why is it not good? It's not salty enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So they know how to fix it.
I wonder
Exactly.
if
You know what
if
to
you
fix
saw
it.
this from the very first time as a very prominent chef,
Yeah.
how will you say?
You see, the way I
Just
look at it,
pretend that-
it is lemper bakar. You see the burns, it has been on a grill, right? So they've done it very nice. I assume when you eat it, you have this roast and you have this roasting
smoky
flavor, this smoky flavor,
okay.
right? You can see it's sticky rice when it's well cooked.
Yeah.
And you can see sticky rice when it's not well cooked because you have this raw rice in the middle,
Right.
you know, you can see it. And when
It's
you
uneven.
it's uneven. When you bite it, you open it up, then you smell it. Then when you smell it, you say, okay, it smells right. It should taste right.
Let's see if it
Okay.
matches with the flavor.
So
Then you
basically
go to the next step,
Blogger
you know?
should be very detailed.
Very detailed. You have to
about
be
the
very
food that in front of you, what you see, what you feel.
Exactly.
So we have very aware
Yeah.
about our sense.
Exactly. You have all these different senses. Use it. Explain it. Right. And
nice.
and then you get credibility.
Yeah.
Then people will believe you. Oh,
They'll
it's
trust
true.
you.
And then, what he says about the smell, that's true.
Because they're
When I
experiencing
see,
it
You
too.
know, when I see a lemper, that's how it's supposed to smell. You know.
Okay.
So that's where you get.
But I have to admit, your presentation was already
Yeah.
spot on. You just need to get a little bit deeper with the flavors
I
and
have
the
to train my
smells.
senses.
Yes. We're going to find out more about what's
Thank you for
on
the tip.
Chef Degan's
Yeah.
mind when we return after this short break. Stick with us here on Buddy Talk. Happy Lemper.
Yes.
Hey buddies, welcome back. We're still here chatting with Chef Degan. And Chef, right now we're gonna go right into our next little gimmick here, which is called What's on Your Mind. We're gonna show you a picture.
Okay.
And without thinking too much into it, we
Okay.
just want you to tell us exactly what pops into your mind.
Okay.
Starting with this.
What is this? Oh, okay.
Okay, tell us about this.
Yeah, that was something I had to create for a special dinner at that time. I was doing an Indonesian food promotion in Germany, and we were given the platform was a 3 Michelin star restaurant. So you can imagine the guests that came there.
By the way, can you pronounce the name of the restaurant for us? None of us can do it. What is
Schwarzwaldstube.
Schwarzwaldstube?
So what it means is Black Forest room. So yeah, it was in that restaurant where we did an Indonesian food promotion, and basically we had to bring up Indonesian food to the next level, right?
Okay.
And what is a real Indonesian dish? I was thinking, do something that is really Indonesian, that we Indonesians would say, okay, that's very Indonesian, right? So it was lodeh, sayur lodeh. Sayur lodeh, I grew up with it, right? And it tastes good. And coconut milk is always something that the foreigners like.
Yeah.
And they feel it's something tropical, it's something exotic, right?
And so many Indonesian dishes contain coconut.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And then what do you eat with sayur lodeh? Ikan asin, salted fish. That's what you eat traditionally, right? So then I was thinking, hey, we have other fish here. We have a salmon. Make a nice salmon, cook it well. Put the salmon into the oven at 90 degrees, not too hot. So it basically sweats until it's cooked. But the color is still red. It's not white, you know. So
the color of salmon.
The color of the salmon. So it looks still like it's
peachy
color, right? So then it becomes very elegant, right? And then you had the lodeh, the sayur lodeh. I had to use vegetables that were in season in Germany, and we found this very small zucchini, you know. And hey, it doesn't have to be always the vegetables that we have in Indonesia. Like the most important thing of a sayur lodeh is the flavor of the broth. So we know when you eat a sayur lodeh, when you smell a sayur lodeh, you know it is sayur lodeh, right? So that was the challenge, to make it look different, looks more expensive, look fine dining, look international, but still has the original flavor, traditional flavor.
As soon as you put it in your mouth, you know
Exactly.
this is sayur lodeh.
Exactly.
Oh,
I
sayur
always,
lodeh in the next level.
yeah, I'll always say when you bring food to the next level, it can look like whatever you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But when you put it in your mouth, it has to taste original.
Speaking of taking food to the next level, have a look at this next one.
All right.
Wow. Tell us what's in this
What
picture.
is-
Where was this taken?
That was taken in Bangkok. I was working for a five-star hotel in Bangkok. I was working 7 years in Bangkok, and that is basically the ceremony you have every year. They have this spirit house in front
masak,
of the hotel. In every building in Thailand, you have this spirit house in front of the building. It's a very Buddhist tradition, right, in Thailand.
And also, we know that you cook for Dalai Lama, is it?
Yes, I did. Yeah, yes, I did.
When he was in Bali,
When he was in Bali, exactly, that was in the 90s, somewhere in the 90s, right?
Is there
And-
any like diet program? that you must
restrictions?
follow, or you have to do research before you cook?
I was thinking about that in the beginning, right? Because I thought that he was only eating vegetarian and all
Yeah.
that.
Right, I would-
No, it's not. I mean, he also ate meat. So mostly ate vegetables, but once in a while he was eating chicken as well, and beef not more, but chicken, fish also, right?
It was safe to say you spent a few decades in the kitchen then? You've been in the kitchen for a very long time.
Very
You're
long
very well versed with what happens in the kitchen.
Yes.
But how well versed are you? Because we're going to test you in our next little segment here, because we are going to shut off one of your senses, which is your eyes.
Speaking about senses.
Speaking of the senses, right? We're only going to let you rely on your ears. Normally you rely on taste
Oh my
and
God.
smell, I know. But we're going to test how good your hearing is, because our next segment here is our buddy challenge. Where we're going to ask you to describe by sound only what is the kitchen activity or situation
my
that you are hearing.
Okay.
We're going to play the sound for you, and then as soon as you hear it, as soon as you're done, you can take a guess at what's happening
Okay.
in the kitchen with that
Yeah.
sound. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
You ready? Let's start with our first one.
Okay.
This is a wok.
It's so far.
This is a wok, you know?
Okay.
Somebody's cooking something in a wok. I guess it would be either stir-fried vegetables or fried rice or fried noodles. It's a wok, I guess.
Stir frying in a wok.
Okay.
Is that true?
Let's check it out. Wow!
Yes, you nailed it, Chef. It's that distinct sound,
Yeah,
yeah?
you hear the stop. That's when you.
Oh, so he's listening for the tapping because you get the stuff caught, you tap it out.
Okay, next one.
That looks delicious.
Oh my God.
Next.
It's like someone punched.
That's tepan. Teppanyaki.
Let's have a look at the
that
visuals.
pepper?
I was guessing the same thing
That's
because I heard
teppanyaki,
that
yeah.
thing in the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
you go
Cool.
click, and then
Yeah.
you
Right.
put the border in or whatever,
Right.
and then the oil.
that right?
This teppanyaki. Oh,
There you go.
Wow.
So the key for that was,
Wow.
because I've been to a few of these, and now you normally hear that sound in the beginning before the
Oh
searing
my
begins.
God.
You're 2 for 2, Chef.
Wow.
Let's have a look.
Okay.
Let's have another one.
I've seen there's a Japanese mochi. They're doing mochi.
Okay.
That's Japanese. Yeah,
Let's take a look.
they make
Look at that.
Hey, see?
Oh my
They
God.
are creating mochi
Get it right.
with hammers.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got one last one. Let's see if you can make a perfect 4 for 4.
This is like when I peel carrots or when I peel potato or carrots. I would.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
let's
Peeling activity?
peeling activity.
Oh
or
my
carrots
God.
or potatoes. Let's have a
Oh my God.
look at that.
Oh
Chef.
my God. How can you?
You know, I've done this so many times. Many years I've done that, so I know it. I close
We
my
were
eyes. and I-
discussing
Thing
this
is, we
before.
have to be more aware about anything. So
Yeah.
we can, train our senses well.
Okay.
No matter what we do.
Yay, great job.
Huh? That's unbelievable. The last one.
The last one.
I can't even imagine.
I couldn't even. I forgot what that one was.
I forgot.
And you know the sound of the pillars?
Yes.
That's a pillar I used to use. There are different types of pillars,
Okay.
and they make different types of sounds.
It rattles a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, that rattles a bit. That's the long one.
Correct.
Then you have the other one like this.
The
It's
one
a different
cross.
sound. It doesn't move. This one moves. That's why you have this click, 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 click.
Yes, that's
Oh my
the little
God.
how it moves like that. Okay.
Wow.
I know, mind
It's
blown.
experience, you know.
Okay. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit more, Chef. You actually taught Indonesian food. We're gonna have a look, and I think we have a picture to show at Le Cordon Bleu.
Like a dong bleu.
Lampet.
Cordon Bleu. There you go. That's how many years ago was that?
That was, I think, 2017 or 18. Yeah. Where I went to the Le Cordon Bleu in Paris and in London. At the 2 places I did it. Yeah.
How did people respond when it comes to like experiencing Indonesia?
They loved it. I tell you, Paul. I explained that. I explained the beginning. I had a big display of ingredients like turmeric, galangal, ginger. You know, chilies, different type of chilies, nutmeg, and all the spices that we have here in Indonesia. And then, of course, terasi, right?
course.
And all these things, right?
Yeah. Shrimp paste.
Shrimp paste.
Right.
I explained that we do 5 spice paste. There are 5 basic spice paste. Red, yellow, green, black, white, right? So I explained what these are and where we use it. And then I showed them how to make a spice paste, which we were choosing, what do you call it? Bumbu kuning, the yellow spice paste, right? And then out of this spice paste, I made 3 dishes. And these 3 dishes based on 1 protein. I use chicken.
Okay.
I make a soto ayam, yellow chicken,
yellow
the yellow
paste,
chicken
right?
broth soup, and then I made gulai ayam, like a stew, like
Very
a chicken
different.
stew,
Denser.
and then we make ayam panggang.
Oh my
You know,
God.
with the yellow spice paste also. So they have like 1 spice paste, different dishes, but it's also from 1 protein, right? And it comes out totally different, right? And they were surprised. Oh wow! So I said, so now you can imagine, this is my version, the Javanese version. When you have a Balinese version or you have a Sumatran version,
Yeah.
different flavor, different taste.
Exactly.
True.
And then this is only a yellow spice paste. I can now mix the spice paste. I can use a yellow and a red one. I mix it together, it comes something different, you know?
Yeah.
And they were totally surprised. Oh my God, you can do so many different things. You know?
Oh my.
So they were very surprised, and I'm after the presentation was finished, they were still asking 1 hour questions about
Follow-up
different.
questions
I
about
tell you, it was like
things
it was nice for me. It was
Yeah.
I was happy for them that they enjoy it, and we also give them some tips, some tricks how to do these things.
Chef Degan, your journey is amazing. I always love chatting with you. If you guys want to know more, I have this book at home. It is a wonderful read, Behind the Chef, Sebuah Perjalanan Kuliner, which is the chef's journey with Chef Degan himself. Chef, it's always great to talk with you.
Thank you very much,
Wish
Paul.
we had more time.
Thank you so much,
Thank you very much.
You have inspired Shafira in her new
about
career.
being a food vlogger.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
How to review a lemper.
Yeah, save one for straight. We gotta go, guys. But thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Buddy Talk. It's been a blast, and we hope you join us each and every Friday and Saturday night at 7 p.m. our broadcast time here on See Today. My name is Paul Palele on behalf of Chef Degan, as well as Shafira, along with Stray. He's not a chef; he just eats the food. We'll be back with more episodes for you. Make sure you stay tuned. For now, we're gonna sign off. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.